everybody. I'm in the shop late on this Sunday night, getting ready for 5 straight nights of dirt racing, getting my tires ready. Man, I watched that race with you all on my TV here in the shop. Nashville Super Speedway. We got to say that, Nashville Super Speedway. Because I've heard of some people that went to the Nashville Fairgrounds looking for the race. So 2 Nashville racetracks, the Fairgrounds and the Super Speedway, the big concrete track. Today's NASCAR race, it did not disappoint. Now listen, I got to tell you, I'm 60 years old. I watched people win the Daytona 500 on gas mileage. Hey, I'll tell you what, go on YouTube. And I'm in the announcer's booth when it was on Speed TV for a truck race right here at the Worldwide Technology race. And they must have went through, I don't know what the record was. I think we tried going green, white, checker like 7 times. And it was a young me. I was going crazy. I said, oh my God, they just keep wrecking. Hey, listen, Kyle Larson doesn't go. And how about that poor Kyle Busch? We had him on Trackside Live earlier today. Oh yeah, by the way, I was in Nashville earlier today. I got a buddy that's got a neat little airplane. We raced dirt last night here in Highland, run 3rd. But we met at 6:30 this morning and we took off down to Nashville. Had a great 1-hour show. And I interviewed Kyle Busch. And I said, Kyle, they're going to leave it up to me. And we had 1,000 fans out there in the midway behind the grandstands. And I said, Kyle, they leaving it up to me. And I took my chair and I scooted it back. I said, buddy, we're used to you winning every week. You're a 2-time champ. I said, it seems like you're taking this bad time in your career with a grain of salt. And he said, Herman, he said, listen, we did what's called dartfish, where they laid Kyle's driving style, how he uses the throttle, how he uses the brake, how he turns the steering wheel. Everybody in that camp, that Chevrolet camp, they laid it over Ross Chastain's. So you have Kyle Busch and Ross Chastain, and all the analytics said, okay, they're both driving the same, but Ross Chastain's car is 0.3 quicker. So here, Kyle Busch finally has a shot. And Kyle Larson doesn't go. I guess he runs out of gas, and there's old Kyle Busch in the wrong spot at the right time. And it was a hell of a race. Listen, I know this new phenomenon. I know this new era. Everybody wants to go, I don't like NASCAR. They make them run out of gas. Come on, stop that. Hey, these teams could have pitted. Crew chiefs were telling them, you're going to run out of gas. Oh, my God. So anyway, it's like, do you pit? Hell no, we'll all run out of gas and we'll all wreck together. And that's pretty much what happened. But, I got to say, when Joey Logano won that race and everybody's like, oh, how in the hell Joey Logano make it on gas? Nobody else could. It reminded me of the great Smokey Unic. Listen, all I have is stories about this situation. Last week in New Hampshire, we had a good story about, rain and racing in the rain. Well, that's all new. But today's race was like something back in the early, like in the 1950s, 1960s. Everybody won races on gas mileage in NASCAR. So this was just a page from the past, and it reminded me of Smokey Unic. You heard the story, right? Smokey Unic won the race. Everybody else had to pit for gas. The black and gold number 13. Smokey Unic was the owner and the crew chief, and he was so smart. So NASCAR says there's no way you made it all the way on gas. So they took his car and they tore it completely apart. They said, we can't find anything. He started it up and drove it all the way back to basically the inlet waterway is where Smokeys Old Shop used to be. Basically over by A1A, but on this side of the inlet waterway. Drove his race car all the way there. So basically back in that day, they didn't have an OD size, outer diameter of the fuel hose. He had a 2-inch fuel hose. So basically 20 foot. Everybody else had 3/4, half-inch line. Well, hell, Smokey, he could carry 2 more gallons of gas. That's what I thought about when Joey Logano won the race. So, listen, hell of a race. I know you're pissed your guy got wrecked. Something happened to your guy. But, hey, what a show. What a show. And, you know, I know y'all want me to pick on NASCAR for some damn reason, but listen, they don't tell those guys how to figure their own gas mileage. And by the way, let me end like this. Last week there in Nashville, we all know by now, we embarrassed ourselves. The reason NASCAR didn't let anybody pit, you know, last week in New Hampshire competitively is because pit road was soaking wet. So, and then Austin Dillon today, we had him on trackside, and Austin Dillon said the only thing that pissed me off about last week is we were going to have a really good finish on fuel mileage. So, but listen, the fuel mileage deal, you know, Austin Dillon was going to be able to stay out at New Hampshire last week. Well, then NASCAR said, okay, pit road's wet. This is not going to be a competitive pit stop. This is a different circumstance. So ain't that something? This week it ends up being fuel mileage. Last week was the first of its kind. And all right, everybody, I think that's about it. We ran third last night and then went down to Nashville today, and I'm on it. I know what's up. Just stay tuned here to the Kenny Wallace Show. I guess that's it. And headed to Harrisburg, Arkansas on Tuesday, and then Benton, Missouri on Wednesday, and West Memphis, Arkansas, down there by the river on Thursday. Not sure about Friday yet, but Saturday we're going to be at Peevely. And all right, till next time.